Blog Talk Radio.
And welcome back to Taylor's Detroit Sports Show on Blog Talk Radio. I'm Taylor Phillips, and this is the Pistons edition. Same guidelines as in the Red Wings edition. Let's just go. If you have any opinions, call me at 646-478-4837 or comment in the chat room on my show on blogtalkradio.com on Taylor's Detroit Sports Show Pistons edition, February 2nd, 2014 at midnight. I am on Facebook, YouTube, Google, Pinterest, StumbleUpon, and LinkedIn as Taylor Phillips, and I am on Twitter, Tumblr, and Instagram at DT2Phillips. Taking a look at the weekend review. The Pistons played a struggling Mavericks team in Dallas. Came a bit close, but the Mavericks still pulled out of the victory. The victory, 116-106. And then the Pistons return home to take on the Magic of Orlando at the Palace. And they whooped them. 103-87 to end their 4-game losing streak. And after the end of that game, there was a heavy snowstorm in the Detroit area and in the Atlanta area, in the southeastern regions of North America. And that caused the Pistons Atlanta Hawks game to be postponed until Tuesday, April the 8th. Just to make sure that they will never have that problem again. And the Hawks could have beaten the Pistons, in my opinion, because the Hawks are a good team. The Pistons should be a good team, but they're not. So from there, the Pistons were still coming off a win over the Magic. They had unexpected time off, as Stephanie from the Fox Sports Detroit Girls quoted earlier tonight, before they take on a very lowly Philadelphia 76ers team, and the Pistons blew them out of the water. 113-96. They led by as many as about 25 points. Pistons started the third quarter with an explosive 22-7 run, and they out-rebounded the 76ers 57-44. Great game overall. Pistons led 32-22 after the first quarter. Monroe and Drummond combined for 22 points on 9 of 9 shooting. Kyle Singler also had a double-double with 20 points and 10 rebounds. I suppose, yeah, Drummond had 22 points, 14 rebounds, and 5 block shots. That's a double-double, as is Monroe's performance, 21 points, 12 rebounds. Josh Smith had 9 points and 9 rebounds and 7 assists. That's almost a triple-double. Had Smith played just a little better. So that obviously created a winning streak after losing 4 in a row. They beat 2 easy teams after losing to a team that was pretty much even with them. Pistons got 10 of the game's first 11 rebounds. And we have a guest, 6864, has logged into the chat room, so I will ask a question about ask 2 questions, one from Tom Gores and one about David Stern. So give me a couple minutes here. So my questions are, before I ask those 2 questions, I need to read an article regarding Tom Gores' opinion about the 1927 Detroit Pistons, who should be better, who he thinks should be better. From MLive.com by David Mayo. David Mayo, as in mayonnaise. From Auburn Hills, Detroit Pistons owner Tom Gores said Saturday that he is concerned about the underachieving team, but said its focus is on improving the existing roster, not buying or selling before the upcoming NBA trade deadline. Asked specifically if he was panicked over the job performances of President of Basketball Operations Joe Dumars, who is in the final year of his contract, and/or first-year head coach Maurice Cheeks, Gores replied, Right now I'm patient, but I want to make sure we make adjustments if we have to make adjustments. Gores spent much of the week here with several of his Platinum Equity partners and staffers, and sat courtside for the Pistons' 113-96 win Saturday earlier tonight over the Philadelphia 76ers. The NBA trade deadline is February 20th. Despite persistent national media rumors that Greg Monroe is a potential trade piece because of his restricted free agency this summer, the Pistons have shown no interest in trading him. That's shocking. They also have Charlie Villanueva and Ronnie Stuckey on expiring contracts, but their position all season has been that those players have value whether they're traded or simply relinquished to free up money this summer. They make more than $17 million combined. Gores said the trade deadline is not a central focus. He said, quote, "We've been focused really on the individual players. The fact is we're better than our record, and I think we just have to make our players the best they can be. We have to focus on them. So we're not focused on deadline or anything like that. We're just focused on getting the guys better and preparing them." So Gores is talking about making this Pistons team a developing team, in my opinion. Asked if he was satisfied with the coaching effort in that regard, Gores said didn't limit it to just coaching. He said, quote, "I'm not satisfied. Our job is to make sure that the players are working at their maximum," he said. "So I'm not satisfied with the job I'm doing. I'm not satisfied with the job anybody's doing right now, including myself. We have to get better, and those young men work really, really hard. I feel like our job is to make sure that they are at their maximum, and I don't think they're at their maximum," unquote. Gores, a Genesee, Genesee County native, whose primary residence is in Beverly Hills, California, put down a playoff mandate before this, his third season as owner. The Pistons at 19 and 27 are ninth in the Eastern Conference, one spot below the playoff cut line. They are tied with the New York Knicks, a game behind the Charlotte Bobcats, who are at 21 and 27. Gores said, quote, "We're not that far out. I think it's frustrating because we're better than our record," as he mentioned earlier in this article. "At the same time, there's a lot of hope right now. I see a lot of possibilities. We have to come together. We have to gel. Gell. I don't think you can say our team and our players don't work hard. I think they work hard, so we just have to figure out how to work together," unquote. Gores' clear position is that the Pistons should be better with the young roster they have. He said, quote, "I actually don't think we have done our best job to make sure they're working at 100%. At 100%. We have great young players. Those are the guys that need a lot of preparation. Those are young men," unquote. End of article. So my question is, what does Tom Gores technically need to do to improve the Pistons, players, and coaching staff? Considering I've just read this article out loud to my audience, you. And the second question, what do you think of NBA Commissioner David Stern retiring? I heard he retired. I heard yesterday about him retiring, and I was in disbelief. I mean, I mean, all commissioners are old, including Bud Selig of Major League Baseball, Roger Goodell of the National Football League, and Gary Bettman of the National Hockey League. Just call in at 646-478-4837 if you have an opinion. I'll write this number down on the chat. Okay, going on to the standings. Yeah, I think I already mentioned where the Pistons are in the standings, but may I combine that with the week ahead. The Pistons are in Miami on Monday at 7:30 on Fox Sports Detroit. The Heat lead the Southeast Division and are in second place in the Eastern Conference at 33-13, the defending NBA champions. Then they travel to Orlando, and they can try to squash the Magic on the road this time like they did at home. Wednesday at 7 o'clock on Fox Sports Detroit. Then they return home on Friday to take on the Brooklyn Nets at 7:30 on Fox Sports Detroit. And on Saturday, they welcome the Denver Nuggets, 7:30 on Fox Sports Detroit. The Magic and the Nets. The Magic, are 13-35. One of the worst teams in the Eastern Conference, but the Brooklyn Nets are still hanging in there in playoff contention. 7th place in the East at 20-25. They are in second place in the Atlantic Division, just 4.5 games back of the Toronto Raptors, who are in third place in the East. Then finally looking at the Denver Nuggets, they are 22-23. And are tied with the 23-24 Minnesota Timberwolves for third place in the Northwest Division. Still in the hunt for playoff contention in the Western Conference. So that matchup which is a week from tonight, should be a good one. Nuggets at Pistons, catch that one on Fox Sports Detroit at 7:30. George Blaha and Greg Kelser on television. And of course, on the radio, all games will be heard on 97.1 The Ticket in Detroit, WXYT, with Mark Champion and Rick Mahorn providing all the play-by-play and color commentary action. Moving on to college basketball scores. Western Michigan hangs on to beat Central Michigan 75-72. Michigan State loses to Georgetown 64-60, and Eastern Michigan falls short against Miami, Ohio 65-61. Coming up tomorrow, the Red Wings at Capitals, 12:30 on NBC. Second of a home-and-home set between those two teams. And, of course, Super Bowl 48. Broncos or Seahawks? Who have you got? Let me type this question down on my chat before, and then take any opinions before I close out the show here. Just give me less than a minute here. So Super Bowl 48 will be televised on your local Fox affiliate, Fox television affiliate. 6:25 kickoff. Joe Buck and Troy Aikman with the call. I know some of you may hate him just for some mystical reason. So, I was eating some crumbs off my short plate from Pop-Tarts. Tastes really good. They're pumpkin pie Pop-Tarts. So that's about it. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. So I'll be back next week to talk to you all about the Red Wings and Pistons, Red Wings edition at 11 and Pistons edition at midnight, both on Saturday. Till then, Taylor Phillips saying TTFN ta-ta for now.